Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to get things to DVD and Blu-ray and make your own motion menu. Once again, every student has to do their own custom DVD menu, motion menu, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, you're going to need your assets. So you're going to want to export every single one of your clips out. You'll have to have 4 projects on this. Your 30-second spot that you do individually or as a group, along with your platinum whites or your in-class commercial edit, and your 2-minute industrial and your 3 to 5 minute industrial, whether that be a music video or not. Then that's a total of 4 projects you'll have to have on this DVD or Blu-ray. So first of all, you're going to export every one of those 4 projects out. Here I've got the platinum whites video, and you'll notice down here that there are some regions that are not rendered. Before you export out, I recommend rendering everything so it exports out faster. So within Premiere, you're going to go up to Sequence. Instead of just hitting Return, which will just render the red portions, you want to render the yellow portions as well. There are no yellow portions in here because everything's been rendered except for the red spots. But you'll want to just go up to Sequence and render entire work area instead of render effects work in area by hitting Return. That way it will render everything. Okay, I'll let this render and be back in a second. Okay, once everything is rendered, you should have this sort of thing down here where everything appears green in your timeline. Once everything is green in your timeline, this is ready to be exported. Just hit Command M, Apple M, or Control M on a PC. Apple M will bring open this window, and you'll always want to just hit Match Sequence Settings. As long as you're editing in HD, then this is the right format. It'll export it out in a 50 megabits per second MPEG video clip, which will be high quality. You'll want to check mark Match Sequence Settings and use previews as well. If you use the previews, it will use the render files that you just rendered, and then it will export out quicker. Alright, and then the third thing you're going to do is click on Output Name, and you're going to choose a location. I'm just saving everything on the desktop right here. I've already exported this out, but I'm just going to select the desktop, name it, hit Save. Once I hit Save, it'll save that name and location that I decided to save it, and hit Export. So once again, Match Sequence Settings, use Previews, and click on this and choose the name and location. It will save it. Once you hit Export and it exports this movie out, what you will get is your high quality MPEG video, which I've got here. And I've got 4 different videos here that I'm going to be using. And these videos I'm going to put into one location. You'll want to put all these videos into one location. I've created a new folder. I'm going to gather all my assets and stick them in one folder. I've got also this little clouds photo that I'm going to be using for my motion menu background. Okay, after that, I'm going to go into Premiere. I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to browse to my DVD and Blu-ray folder that I'm gathering all my assets in. I'm going to choose that folder. It's a good idea just to keep everything organized in one location for your DVD and Blu-ray motion menu project. So I'm going to call this Motion Menu Project and save it. Once that is saved, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to import my video clip, double click into this area here. I'm going to choose all 4 of my video clips. 1, 2, 3, 4 video clips, plus my clouds for my background. I'm using my clouds for my background on my motion menu, and I'm going to import these video clips. I'm going to do this in After Effects. You guys don't have to do this all in After Effects. You can do your motion menu in Premiere if you wish. I'm going to start it in Premiere and send it over to After Effects. Okay. I'm going to grab one of these video clips here. I'm going to grab one that represents kind of the quality that I'm working in, like the Platinum Whites is a high quality MPEG HD. I'm going to grab that one, drag it into my timeline, and it will bring up this question usually if your sequence hasn't been formatted yet. And I'm going to change sequence settings to match the clip settings of this high quality HD file that I put into my timeline. Okay, once that's put inside my timeline, now my timeline is set in the proper quality. I'm going to highlight this, delete it. Now my timeline is set up to match the presets of that video clip. So my menu is going to be 1920 by 1080, 24 frames per second, 23.97 as you can see here. Alright, but I'm going to grab my clouds, I'm going to drag that out inside. I'm going to make your motion menus you'll want to make around 30 to 40 seconds long. I'm going to make this about 35 seconds long. Actually, I'm just going to type 35 period enter. 35 period enter will take it to 35 seconds in the timeline. Extend out my clouds so it reaches 35 seconds. Then I'm going to grab each one of my clips. I'm going to grab them and drag them into the source monitor here, or double click on them, because I'm just going to grab the video here. I'm just going to use this drag video only and drag that down on the timeline, because I'm not going to use the audio from these clips. I'm just going to use the video. So I'm going to drag that down inside, drag it and drop it on a timeline above. I'm going to grab my platinum whites. Again, grab the video, drag it down inside. Grab my other video clip, drag it down inside. Grab my last video. And I'm just putting it in the source monitor so I can just bring the video down inside and not use the audio from these clips. So now I'm going to make these things last about the same amount of time here. I'm going to make these all last the same time, like about 35 seconds here. Well, my commercial is only 30 seconds, so that one's not going to fit perfectly, but that'll be fine for right now. We'll fix it when we get into After Effects. So in my whole timeline, I've got all my assets gathered here. I'm going to highlight all my clips at once, and I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to go to Replace with After Effects Composition. It'll send these 4 clips over to After Effects and make one clip in Premiere that represents those 5 clips, 5 pieces that I've sent over to After Effects. Open up After Effects. I'm going to save that onto my DVD and Blu-ray location and call this Motion Menu AE for After Effects. Save it. Okay, once these are brought over, I'm gonna turn off all my layers but my clouds here. I'm gonna leave my clouds turned on. I'm gonna turn everything else off. I'm gonna go up here and click on this and say fit. It's already fit, so I'm gonna click on my clouds. I'm going to make these clouds larger. So go back to my composition here, I'm going to arrow down, go down to transform, go down to scale, and make this larger. Make this a little bit larger than normal so I can have this coast from one side to the next. And then I'm going to have these clouds. I'm going to animate these clouds a little bit so they kind of move across the screen. I'm going to move this over. Let me zoom out a little bit here so we can see what we're doing outside of my frame here. So I made these clouds probably a little too big, so let's bring the size down. You can see how large the picture frame is compared to my resolution. I'm going to make them about that large. I'm going to start them here, go down to my position, turn on the keyframe from my position. I have a beginning keyframe, and go to the end of the timeline and add another keyframe. Actually, I don't even need to add a keyframe since I've added my first keyframe down here. If I grab this and drag this and send position at the end of my timeline, if I just grab this, you'll notice it'll create a spline. I'm going to hold down Shift so it constrains this to its horizontal position. And let go, and it's added a new keyframe down here on the end. So now if we play through this, the clouds will slowly animate from left to right, so it'll look like the clouds are kind of coasting past. Okay, now I'm going to add, do some graphics here. We're going to add some text. Here I'm going to click in here and add some text. You have your text options over here in the character region here that you can change your text and colors and whatnot. So I'm gonna do some darker text because this is kind of a lighter sky, so I'm gonna go down to something a little darker here. I'm gonna type in, and I want you guys to type in your name so I know whose this is. So whoever you send this to, if you're using this as a resume tape, can be sent off to different people to be used as a resume tape. So Channing Low, final, or we'll just put resume. Or whatever you guys want to put, as long as it's got your name on it. Oops. And we're going to make this larger here. We're going to change the text size. Right now it's a little slow because I'm doing screen capture. But there's my name. And now I'm going to add some bars here just for a little bit of movement. We did this in class. I'm going to do something kind of similar. I'm going to make sure that I deselected everything, that I don't have any of these objects selected down here, my timeline, and that way it will create an object. I'm going to create an object here. I'm just going to create a rectangular object here. Let's make it about that big. We're going to animate this as well, and we're going to animate my name here as well. So, and you guys can come up with it whatever design you want to. So I'm just creating just whatever design I feel like it here. So I'm going to click on the fill. I'm going to change the color because I want these colors to complement them a little bit more. Maybe something, I don't know. I'm colorblind, so something kind of greenish. I don't know. Does that look ugly? I don't care. Anyway, once you've done that, I'm going to go down to my shape layer, transform, and turn the opacity down so you see through it to the sky beneath it. And now I'm just going to duplicate that. I'm going to highlight the shape layer and hit Command D and duplicate it. Choose my arrow, drag this down. I'm going to do a couple other things to create my motion menu here. We're going to grab my name, duplicate my name. So I like that text font that I'm using. Not really, but just pretend I like it. I come down here and put contact information, because you have to have a separate page leading off to, you have to have a link leading off to your contact information. I'm going to change the text size here, make it a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to bring in my video clips. One at a time. Making of it, bring that up. I'm going to make this. So here's one of my video clips. I'm going to make smaller. And right now it's behind my banner, so I'm going to bring it forward. Bring it up to the top here. Fit this in right here. So there's one video clip, and then I'm going to do this to the same each one of these video clips until I have them in the 4 different positions here, and I'll come back once I've positioned all these in the right position. Then we'll start doing the rest of the animation. Okay, so now I've created a mask for each one of these and feathered the edges and added a cheesy little drop shadow on it. So now I've got 4 different video clips here. Now I'm going to go down in After Effects and group these together so I can just have them fade in at once. Then I pre-compose those 4 layers. Okay, it will move everything to one pre-composition here. We'll pre-comp those things all together, treat them all as one layer, and then you can access them again individually if you need to. Now I'm going to create text for each one of these. I'm going to go to my contact screen, my contact text, and duplicate that. Apple D will duplicate. I'm going to grab that duplicate clip, grab it up, drag it up here. Okay, I'm going to name each one of these. Name this one Sharper View.